Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to Cryptic Gaming. I hope you've been having a wonderful week. So we have a unexpected maintenance coming in tonight. So we're going to go over some of these things that are happening. So they've got some top issues that are under investigation right now. The jerky, jittery steering on the frigate, but they say it's also affecting other ships. So they're going to be trying to get to the bottom of that to get that taken care of. It's just more noticeable on the large ships. So apparently it's a pretty big issue. They're going to have to really dig deep into it to figure out what's causing that. The Rags to Riches trophy was not unlocking for some people. That is when you hit that Kingpin rank there. So they cannot progress multiple contracts with Blackwood. So sounds like that's been kind of an ongoing issue. Now, they're supposed to be getting those fixed, looking into them as well. We are going to see some things in Death Tides that's changing. They're going to be swapping up some of these ships. So let's check it out. The sloop is going to be getting some upgrades here. We're looking at, they're going to put some Bombard 5s on the front and the broadsides of those. And they're building those out with combustion severity, and of course long arm perk. And then the rears will have the Nashker firepower perk, soul mending on both of those. I'm not sure why they doubled up on soul mending with that, but they ended up doing that. These are on the pre-loadout ships, by the way, guys. And the auxiliary crouching tiger for that as well. Now, looks like they are essentially ascending the weapons that are on the pre-loadouts, and we're just going to post these up for you so you can check it out. But the Cinderclaw barge is going to get the Blue Spectre, heliports, and Ashkar, and the crouching tiger. The battle junk is going to end up with the Foul Isle on the front, Basilisk on the broadside and rear, and the Crouching Tiger as an auxiliary. The Marksman Garuda is going to have the Nashkers up front, and on the broadsides, the Hellgate Serpent Torpedo, which has not been released into this part of the game yet. They're going to get it now in Death Tide, so that's pretty cool. Definitely going to be popping in to check that thing out. And the Warhammer. And then the Pirate Class Sandbuck is going to get those Phoenix Talons, the Ash Breakers, and the Warhammer as an auxiliary. So again, we'll make sure those cards are up there for you to check this stuff out. But this is coming in, it looks like tonight. So around 1 o'clock in the morning for me, it's looking like here Central Time. The servers will go down, and they're going to be working on that. Now, there's also a few other things that they're looking at. The contract for Reach the Firmament, which was this season's main mission that you would use the frigate in. They had the wrong armor on the ship called Perseus Judgment, so they're going to be switching that out to the Nova armor. Now, I don't recall what the Perseus Judgment did, if it had any kind of special effect. It's been so long we blew through the mission pretty quick. So, but also was at the gate the fixing issue where the contract would reappear with the smuggler network even after completing it. So I've been seeing that, and I noticed it was supposed to have been fixed last week. Was still noticing it on occasion today. I didn't have a problem with completing it because it gives you pieces of 8 and stuff again. So, but hey, that's fine. They want to take it away. So equipment, they're going to fix the issue with the accelerated gun rail smithy furniture. It was increasing reload times instead of decreasing the reload times. I thought that seemed like to me like it was what it was doing. The Helm Empire, they fixed an issue where the quantity picker dialogue would close while using a mouse to toggle change quantities of the refinery and helm. It wasn't just with the PCs though. I was noticing that here with even on my Xbox and PlayStation, is sometimes you go in and instead of being able to pick how many you want, it would go blank. So they're going to work on that or make it worse. We'll see what happens with that. UI, they fixed the issue where items could only be refined one at a time at the refinery or distillery while using a mouse. Not ran into that. I guess that was a PC issue. Store was fixed an issue with incorrect number of premium tokens were showing up in the wallet. I haven't noticed that myself, but who knows. That sounds like the actual store where you spend money to buy cosmetics and stuff is what that sounds like. So stability, improved client server and network stability is fixed a case where players are being stuck on splash screen while being unable to launch the game. It says they're aware that there might be multiple causes for the issue. The fix deployed with this update will address the most common case while they continue to investigate the other causes. Now, I'll tell you, I had not been having a lot of the issues with that until this last update when they said that they were going to start addressing it, and then I started kind of running into that. And it doesn't really keep you out. It gets where it doesn't load, and it'll come back out and it says that you were disconnected or whatever, and you have to reload back in a couple times and it'll finally take. You can turn your crossplay off, and it seems to fix that. But then again, if you're running Megafort Wolvenhall, you may want to go back in once you log into the game, switch it back over to crossplay on, and you should be able to load back in just fine. So it seems to just be there at that title splash screen, which is where you see the splashing of the waves on the front of the engine, or the front of the ships is what they're talking about. So they're also going to work on the sea monsters. So apparently the Elder Dragon and the Shadow Beast, which is the Elder Shadow Beast and then the regular Shadow Beast, they've got them buffed up too much. They're going to have to go back in and readjust those things. They're putting out too much damage to take long to destroy for a lot of the newer players that are not using fully upgraded ships here in Tier 1. So they have to go back in and fix that. So that's hopefully something they're going to get situated for a lot of you guys. They're supposed to be seeing the damage reduction that was introduced at the start of Season 2 be tweaked even more. So we'll just have to wait and see how that ends up. But they're going to adjust the orb attacks. They're adding a damage fall off to orb attack AoEs. So you know how it shoots the orbs at you, and you basically 2 hits and you're done. They're going to kind of ease that off a little bit, so it's not quite so bad. They're also reducing the overall accuracy of the orbs, so you might actually be able to, dodge them. Back in the day, you couldn't dodge them, so they're going to fix that too. So that's going to be pretty nice. Like I say, those Death Tide presets, they're getting the tweaks on those. Quite a few things. They're also going to work on that bark, by the way. We're going to throw that one up here for you. Looks like you're getting white jades and heliports on the rear and a little grace in the center. So looks like we got some pretty good things coming in for them to work on. Hopefully that all gets addressed and fixed properly. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that, guys. But I know one of the things in the past is typically we'll see things that don't really seem like they affect us, and then when they go and start fixing it, it starts to affect everybody. So we'll have to play it by ear and see how well this works out for everyone. Also, again, no word on the rotative store, which is the Pinnacle store, being fixed. We're still waiting to hear what's going to happen with that. They say they're aware of it. I know I've reported it, and many of the guys in the Discord have reported it multiple times. So hopefully they get that stuff fixed here pretty soon. But we'll catch everyone later on the other side of this reset. Hopefully things will be a little lined out just a little bit better for you, where you can actually compete in the game. Have a wonderful day.